In this module, you will see how to enter expressions with exponents, work with powers of 10 and logs, as well as powers of e and natural logs. In our first example, we will calculate 3 to the 4th power. The base is 3 and the exponent is 4. First, we will enter the base. Before entering the exponent, we must let the calculator know that an exponent is coming. To do this, we will press the caret button. Now you can enter the exponent. In this example, it would be 4. To view your result, press Enter. The answer will appear on the right side of the screen. In this example, the answer is 81. We often have to enter more complicated expressions involving exponents, using parentheses and the negative sign. For example, 5 raised to the negative 2nd power would be entered as shown in the following steps. First, enter the base 5. Next, enter the caret. To enter the exponent, which is negative, first enter the left parenthesis above the 8 key. Next, enter the negative sign using the negative key at the bottom of the calculator, not the subtraction key in the right-hand column. Enter the 2, and then close the parentheses by entering the right parenthesis above the 9 key. View your result by pressing Enter. It is important to note that you must use parentheses when you have negative numbers in many instances related to exponents. Please contact your instructor if you have any questions about this topic. Recall that 10 is the basis of scientific notation, and log of x is the logarithm that has the base of 10. There are special ways of handling 10 in the scientific notation and in the log format on your TI-83 or 84 calculator. In this example, we will enter 10 to the 5th into the calculator. The base is 10 and the exponent is 5. In this module, you will see how to enter expressions with exponents, work with powers of 10 and logs, as well as powers of e and natural logs. To enter the base of 10, you can press the second button and then 10 to the x located above the log button in the left-hand column of your calculator. Notice that the 10, the caret, and the left parentheses show up on the screen. Now you just enter the exponent. In this example, it would be 5. Close your parentheses by entering the right parenthesis above the 9 button. To view the result, press Enter. The answer will show up on the right side of the screen. In this case, it is 100,000. Similarly, we can evaluate a logarithm of base 10. For example, evaluate the log of 17. First, enter log by pressing the log button in the left-hand column of your calculator. Notice that the log and the left parenthesis show up on the screen. Enter 17 and then enter the right parenthesis. Press Enter. The answer will show up on the right side of the screen. In this case, the answer is 1.230448,921. In this module, you will see how to enter expressions with exponents, work with powers of 10 and logs, as well as powers of e and natural logs. Recall that e is an irrational number approximately equal to 2.718281828, and ln x is the natural logarithm associated with e. That is, the natural log has the base of e. In this example, we will calculate e raised to the 4th power in the calculator. The base is e and the exponent is 4. First, we will enter e. Begin by pressing the second button. Then, press the ln button to record e to the x, which can be seen in small letters above the ln key. Notice that the e, the caret, and the left parenthesis show up on the screen. Next, enter the exponent, which in this example is 4, and enter the right parenthesis. Press Enter to view the result, which will show up on the right side of the screen. In this example, the result is 54.59815,003. Similarly, we can evaluate a natural log. For example, evaluate the natural log of 5. Begin by pressing the ln button in the left-hand column. Notice that the ln and the left parenthesis show up on the screen. Enter 5, then enter the right parenthesis. Press Enter to view the result. The result will show up on the right side of the screen. In this case, the result is 1.6094379112. Calculating another natural log can help you see the relationship between e raised to a power and the natural log. Let's find the natural log of 54.59815,003. Before pressing Enter, see if you can guess what the result will be. Then press Enter. You might have anticipated this result of 4, recognizing the relationship between e raised to a power and the natural log. If you did not anticipate this result, you might want to review the concept of the natural log and e raised to a power.